Welcome back to my garage. I've had a bit of a tidy up actually since I've finished playing around with the suspension, got all the wheels back on. Just got to roll it outside so I can tilt the front end up and do the magical coolant fill on the Jaguar XJS. It's not simple. Might do a video of that actually. It's got some coolant in it now, but nowhere near full. So we'll have to roll it outside when I get a chance and yeah, lift the front end up and get the coolant in. Anyway, as you'll notice, it's hidden away, as is the bike, because we're going to do a bit of very non-professional spray painting today. So my car was missing this front underscuttle tray, spoiler, whatever you want to call it. There's a part number, I'll stick it in the description. You can't get these anymore, even secondhand, to be honest. They're fairly flimsy bit of plastic, so I can imagine at some point someone did some work on my car, maybe in a garage or whatever. I've seen garage people sometimes, they try and pull these things off gently, but they break or whatever. They're just knackered anyway, and they get tossed to one side. The car doesn't really need it, although supposedly on the earlier cars, certainly the under skirt or spoiler helps direct the flow up into the radiator and can help with some cooling issues. I don't really know a lot about the older cars. With these ones, again, it may help when you're driving direct a bit more cool air through the radiator. Frankly, if you're overheating, I doubt it's really going to be something as simple as a little bit of plastic. But what do I know? I know nothing. Yeah, so I managed to find this on eBay. There's a company in America, Pauls Jag, I think it is. Again, I'll stick a link in the description. I've started making these and the kit to fit the part to the car with all the little screws and self-tappings and those clip, what are they called? These things. I've got a whole box of them anyway. No. Oh. Well, I have got a box of them. Don't know what I've done with them. That's going to annoy me. I'm just going to have to find it now. I don't care that you're all waiting for this video. Oh, I've got everything organised, and what the hell have I done with them? Ah, sod it. I do give up. They're little flat plates with a screw point in, and you just click them onto a bit of plastic, and then you can screw up into it. I didn't buy the kit because I've got all the bits somewhere. Where the hell are they? Anyway, in the garage, and I'll find those later. But when it did arrive, I pretty much sanded it out now. It had a huge, great scratch on the side that you see. Now, I know some of you were like, oh my God, you don't see it anyway. Stop being such a drama queen. But the underside of my car, if you've seen any of my videos of doing the suspension and exhaust and stuff, the whole thing is spotless. It's kind of a bit of a showcase of Jaguar engineering. I kind of want it all really nice. So this bit, I just couldn't put it on with a big dirty great scratch on it. The other side's all right. Again, I'm not that bothered. You're not going to see that. I assume when it came through customs, some idiot stuck his knife in to open it up to see what it was, and just put a huge gouge down it. It was a lot worse. I've sanded it most out. It's now ready for some plastic primer. It's just been sanded back with 800 grit because I didn't have any 600. So 800 it is. So we're going to stick a first coat of primer on and then leave that to dry. We'll put about 2 or 3 coats of primer on, get it nice and thick. Then we can sand that back. I've got some nice, slightly, not black, slightly sort of silvery dark grey. And then we're going to stick a coat or 2 of that on it, and a coat or 2 of the PU lacquer. And then that should keep it protected for a few years, or in 2 weeks all the paint will come off because I don't know what I'm doing. We shall see. Right, let's get on with the primer. Right, it might be a bit muffled now because I've got my mask on. I'll just get this shaped up again. I did shake it before. I'm just using Halford's plastic filler primer. Not particularly bothered about the colour. really care how it comes out, so long as it covers that scratch. Just get a bit of a dust coat on the first coat. That's all we want. Give that primer a chance to grip on, especially as we're dealing with plastic. Stick down in those holes, that'll do, and clear our nozzle out. Right, let that dry and we'll come back and put another coat on in a few minutes. Okay, that's looking nice and dry. Hit that with a second coat. Make sure we get this top ridge. Like an arm pump. Need a rest. Oh. Do that in a minute. Ow. Ow. Noticed a bit bare at this end. Okay. Come back to that in a minute. Lovely yellow. I might just leave it that colour. No, I'm joking. That would be terrible. Right, so it's the next morning. I put another coat of primer on it before I finished off last night. Come in here this morning and giving it a sand down with 800 grit. And just giving it a wipe off. So I'm ready to put some paint on. I've gone with this Mercedes selenite, I don't know, grey. I've used this on a few other things on the car. It gives a nice sort of gunmetal grey, slightly more exciting than black. So I'll put a dust coat on and then a couple of proper coats, probably run the can out and then leave it ready for lacquer. Okay, let's put the proper first coat on. Might need another tin of this, I'll be honest. Bit of a bigger piece than I thought it was. We'll see. Don't do that. Stay off that corner now, I'm going to get a run. Getting arm pumped again. Go on that side and just try and get a bit of paint in those holes. Tidy this up for now. A bit there, but I don't want to put any more paint on that corner yet because it's a bit thick. This edge looks alright. Let's try and just... yeah, that's all it needed. Okay. I do think I'm probably going to need another tin, but we'll come back to that in a bit. Well, that's 2 coats I managed to get out of that little tin, and because it's going under the car, I'm too cheap to go get another can. It's pretty much there. It's certainly good enough for underneath the front of the car. So we'll now let that dry, which I have, and finish it off with some of this heavy duty PU lacquer, which is a pain to get a nice clean shine on, because it kind of either wants to go on dusty or run. But we'll see how we get on. Anyway, I'll stick my mask on. Okay, leave that one to dry. Okay, so it's 2 days later now. This PU lacquer gives a really good shine, much better than just standard lacquer. Not as good as 2K lacquer, but then I'd either have to buy one of those 2-stage cans, which would seem a little bit excessive for just a piece like this, or I'd have to get the air gun out and the compressor and go buy some 2K lacquer. Again, a little bit excessive for a little job like this, but the only trouble with the PU lacquer is it does take a good day or two. After an hour, it's probably dry, but very tacky After a day, it feels dry, but if you touch it, you can still feel it slightly tacky, and then you come in a couple of days later and it's properly gone off. I'd still want to be gentle with it for another couple of days, to be honest. However, I have made a slight error, and this is proper OCD now. This is going to be underneath the front of the car, and when I was spraying it, I took into account this lip, thinking that this bit wouldn't be seen, and I've just looked at how it fits on the car, which I should have known because I've already had it on the car. And if you imagine this upside down, if you were lying under the car, you can still see this, probably not the middle bit because it's hidden by some bits. Oh, I missed a bit in there as well. Oh God, I'm going to go mental. But yeah, you can see, actually, I've probably pretty much covered that bit in paint, but you can see there's a bit of primer mess. So, I've got a bit more painting to do, so I'm going to flip it over now the lacquer's gone off. I really couldn't do that while there was a risk that the lacquer might stick to the cloth or something. And then, hopefully, I haven't got PU lacquer on here, overspray. If I've just got primer and paint, I can lay a bit of paint on there, lay some PU lacquer, leave it for another couple of days, and then that's ready to go on the car. If I have got PU lacquer on here, I've got bigger problems. I'd have to sand it back, or maybe even remove all the lacquer and possibly the paint and primer with it. If you try and put paint anywhere near PU lacquer, it just crazes instantly. A lesson I learned the hard way. I'd had no idea why my paint was going mental when I was just touching up little bits on the engine bay a couple of years ago. And it's because I'd got overspray of PU lacquer from something else I'd been doing. And every time I put paint down at the edge, it would just craze. And I keep chasing it back, and it would just craze and craze and craze. And it was a nightmare. So I learned the hard way that that's because there's PU lacquer around. You just can't spray over it. You've got to sand it right off. So let's flip this over, get it masked up on the back because I don't want spray coming through these holes. And we'll see if I can get it painted. Fast forward, I don't know how long, probably about a month. I've been busy with other stuff. So I actually finished this, stuck it on the car. I've taken it back off just to finish this video. The car's in bits again because I'm going to do a bit of a reposition of the exhaust because I'm not happy with how far it's hanging onto the car. I need to tilt it up a bit. I'm also stripping down the back brakes while I'm on because I'm going to bleed them. So a couple more videos coming up quite soon, hopefully, with messing about with that. But this is finished. I couldn't find my U-clips, I think, earlier in the video. I'll figure that out when I do the edit. So I'm kind of reminding myself. I think I came over here and looked without any joy for U-clips, knowing exactly what I was looking for. Then went online and bought myself a nice new set, and then the same day found the drawer that was just there. It's just there, like that or something. Anyway, I've got endless U-clips now. Already had the self-tappets, so you'll need, if you're gonna, what's that? A little bit of a petal. That doesn't belong on there. Get off. Be gone. Get away. Yeah, if you're going to fit this to your car, you're going to need to fit, obviously, U-clips around, and you're going to need some on the, what do you call it, front stone guards, like this, ready to pick up the screws. So there's two on this side. It's the same on the other side. Just while I'm on, actually, as well, if you haven't got the ducts fitted, I managed to get one, I think it was this side, brand new from S&G Barrett for, it was about 20 quid, which I was surprised because there's a bit of a random part that's missing, or was missing from my car on both sides. I think what happens is at some point people do a bit of work on their car and they take all these sold cracked plastic Undertray off, and the ducts get chucked to one side of the garage, and the mechanic just thinks they're not really important. Or maybe they're not, but they do help. They duct cold air from the front to keep your brake disc all nice and cool. So, you know, it's a nice thing to have. And if you want your car proper, So might be worth having a look under your car and see if it looks like this, missing an Undertray, and whether it's even got the ducts, and getting them sourced before they do vanish from availability. Anyway, let's get this fitted back again. So yeah, you're going to need to put your U-clips on. You're going to need an assortment of self-tappings and washers. Just be sensible and find stuff that works. Or you can order the fitment kit from Pauls Jaguar. Obviously, you're in the USA. It's a bit easier. I'd have to wait quite a long time for that, and I had all the bits anyway. Oh yeah, if you're fitting this from because it didn't have anything in it, you may need to also source some lock nut push fittings that go up into the holes that are ready for it in the car. All right, we've done this side. On the other side, that's all those on, so that looks nice. Shiny. Just need to finally, now everything's lined up how I want it, just tweak these main ones up. Still getting dripped on by coolant after a coolant change. Why couldn't Jaguar just fit a drain on the bottom? Doing any sort of coolant work on this car, just, that's not it, that's the other one. Just results in having a shower and coolant getting everywhere. Tweak that up, doesn't need to be super tight. Yeah, I managed to get most of the coolant out, but it's still wet up there. Yeah, a little bit. Never mind. Right, so just squeeze that for you. That's that job done. So I can move on to putting the exhaust back on. See that in the next video.